So, the OnePlus 5, what do we think about it? I've only had it a day, so I'll have to come back with another update. It's the first time I've really dedicated any time to really sticking with Android. In the past I've tried it, didn't really like it, and this time I'm really going to try using it as my daily telephone. So the good thing is the design immediately feels familiar. The design has been heavily inspired by other phones out there, other flagship phones, and so it really feels like a familiar phone. It doesn't feel cheap, even though it's less expensive than the flagship phones, and it feels fast, and it helps that it's actually got good specs. So it feels premium, but it's not got a premium price. The Android it's running is pretty much stock. It's apparently Oxygen OS, which is a slightly modified version of Android Nougat or Nougat, however we want to pronounce it, 7.11. It feels really fast, it feels responsive. That's partly because it's only got a 1080 resolution screen, it's AMOLED. It's got, and I'm having to read this, a Snapdragon 835 CPU and Adreno 540 GPU and 8GB of RAM. That all adds up to being really powerful and really nifty, quick, responsive phone. I mean, 8GB of RAM is a lot for a phone when you think I used to have a PC that was 1 megabyte, and I thought that was a lot. The screen is 5.5 inch, and it feels like a good screen to me. It looks like a good screen. The blacks are black, the colours are pretty darn good. obviously the video and photo performance was really important for me because I'm going to be using it as my daily phone, and the specs are good of the camera as well. It's got two cameras on the back, so that's these guys here. So we've got a wide, which is 16 megapixel f1.7. The lens I'm using for up here to get this view is my nifty 50 1.8, and that's my fastest lens, so 1.7 is good. And the telephoto is 20 megapixels f2.6. That's also really good. The lens I most often use for telephoto is, I think, a 2.8, and that is considered fast. It can do 4K video with these guys on the back, and with this one on the front it can do 1080, so for selfie mode that's great, and that's also 16 megapixels, so really adds up to being a good pocket camera even though it's a telephone. The battery, so far I've had to charge it a little bit, so I'm not seeing it as being that much better than my iPhone 6s, but that said, it's a 3300 milliamp hour battery and it's got dash charging. That means it can do really good charge, something like 3/4 full in about 30 minutes, and it does that without overheating, which is even better. Now, these are the reasons I did choose it, other than the fact that it's pretty much stock operating system and it's fast. It's dual SIM, which means that I can go to the United States with my Canadian SIM, use that for my contacts, and I can use my American SIM for data, so I'm not gouged on roaming data. And it does have a 3.5mm jack, which is useful if I'm using an external mic, because obviously I can't use the iPhone mic. And it does have a fingerprint sensor, which is the reason why I didn't want the iPhone 10. That said, there is some stuff I'm missing already, but that's an Android issue, not the phone. Really happy with the phone so far. It looks really good. One of the things that I did notice is, while the camera's great and it takes really nice pictures, there is a portrait mode which isn't so great, and one of the problems is it kind of looks photoshopped, it looks artificial. But I realised, and the reason why I don't think it's that big a complaint, is that 1.8, 1.7 aperture lens is going to be pretty good for doing portraits anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. And the camera app operates just like the iPhone one, so it's like I haven't had any adjustment to make at all with that, and so that's pretty cool. Having the two cameras is great for the telephoto and wide. Obviously the higher resolution one is the telephoto, because that's when you want to zoom in, that's when you want to have as many pixels as possible. Don't know how big the sensor is, obviously it can't be too big, but it being a phone, but it seems good quality. Seems like I get good colour reproduction. The colours are coming out pretty good on this, so I'll put these in the video so you can see what I've been taking. So my initial reaction is it's fast, it's Android, so that's the part that I'm getting used to fully. Did find out that there is an Apple Music for Android, so I'm not going to have to lose my Apple Music. The main things I'm going to have to get adjusted to is I don't have my iTunes media on here. I do have Apple Music, and no iMessage. I can live without FaceTime because I can use Skype, but for contacting my family, iMessage is pretty important. And my notes here are in iCloud. I'm going to have to get used to using something else instead. Now I use Dropbox a lot. I do use Dropbox, so that shouldn't be as big a problem. It's just a habit adjustment. So all in all, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be fast. It's very reasonably priced. It's been very popular, so it's selling out a lot. I think it's going to be a good phone, but we'll see. I'll come back in a while. I'll try it out more, and I will definitely use it as my daily phone now. My SIM card's in this guy, so I'm committed until I switch it back. We'll see how it goes.